They don't mind at all bringing a storm in to be able to depopulate an area so that they can do something else there. And you and I, the citizen, bears that cost. I ask our governor, I ask our TDEC to look at that because there's law on the books, Title 58-2-116A in the Tennessee Code, authorizes the governor and his agencies to investigate those natural disaster things. Unwilling to do it, completely unwilling to do it.
When they throw that stuff out there, I don't understand why people today would think that they couldn't produce a hurricane.
This is military equipment. It is military equipment that's being used to manipulate weather. The NextRad towers can be used in multiple ways. One of the most simple things you can do with a NextRad tower is produce heat, because it emits microwave radiation and it can heat layers of the atmosphere. And if you were to have these speckled radar systems all over the United States, what you could do is activate the towers on either side of where you don't want the storm to go. Make them emit so much microwave radiation that the atmosphere heats up. You create a high pressure zone. And then if the storm exists and you keep pumping it with aerosols, and also you can zap it to kind of make it more powerful, pull more moisture out of the air. When you have these NextRad towers producing heat in an area where there wouldn't have been that much heat, for those of you who don't know, wind is created when two temperatures collide. It's that simple. So when you create heat in this area and heat in this area, and this area is just like normal, the storm is going to move along that line. It's going to move along that line. The last three identical storms that have floated through the center of the United States from around Texas up into New England, that has had the identical qualities every single time. Every single one of them has had that rippled radar affecting the source of the storm and then going around the more severe areas. I see storms all the time. I don't see that around normal storms, but I've been seeing it around these. Literally, it looked like a frequency was being emitted from these towers that was causing a ripple in the radar and ripples in clouds. For anyone who even questions this, you can go to a very simple website. You can go to the NOAA library.
NOAA has an article on their own website, a 70-year anniversary of seeding their first hurricane. And there are these massive planes that can fly into the weather, into the swirling weather. And what they had done 70 years ago was they had seeded a hurricane, and the hurricane picked up speed and diverted and actually took out a nice chunk of Georgia. And it cost a lot of money and people were very upset. They discussed it. They had to let the public outcry die down, and finally they had to do things on the down low, right? So they continued with their experiments. Well, what I saw recently as I'm tracking the aircraft in the sky is the hurricanes that were coming into Florida. There was a NOAA aircraft, the same type. It was a Lockheed Orion, flew in to the body of the hurricane and did its moves. Then you had a Gulf Stream that belonged to NOAA above the storm at like 45,000 feet. I am of the opinion now that these three-letter, four-letter agencies that are raking in billions upon billions of dollars of taxpayer money are not really looking out for our best interests. I think that they're all working to serve a purpose, because what we see now today, the manufactured fires that are burning out of control, and then suddenly precious land that belonged to, generations of landowners and families gone. Now up for grabs by the BlackRocks and the Vanguards of the world. You have the flooding that destroys people's homes.
Causing excessive floods, causing severe weather, causing excessive drought. Yeah, I mean, weather manipulation, people think, oh, it's too big to get control of. Not really. Not really. Because all you really need is heat generation. And actually, just with heat generation alone, you can do so much. The towers emit a strange pattern before unusual weather events on a very consistent basis.
If you change something here, it might affect something in the future. If you're messing with Mother Nature here, this place that normally gets the rain and relies on the runoff to fill this river or stream, you're totally messing with that. And I think we're starting to see impacts of it. Weather is unpredictable. It truly is. But we are messing with weather, and we're getting more tornadoes, more hurricanes in areas you haven't before.
Every hurricane, every devastating storm, all of those murders, they're using weather as a weapon, period.
I do know people that I talked to years ago who told me they actually designed the software for the HAARP technology. HAARP is very real. Our government is very secret about what it's used for. When people try to show up to inquire or see if they have tours, they're immediately pushed away.
What logically makes sense why they would be beaming high-powered pulses of energy up into the sky? What good could come from that? It's not natural. You know, that's not the natural rhythm of the earth and the system that we reside in. It can't be good. You know, I mean, just that alone, not knowing anything about HAARP, never even hearing about HAARP, knowing that they're blasting frequencies up into the sky, that doesn't raise any flags? That doesn't make you think? Scratch your head? What's going on? You're not curious? Just look at the record tornadoes in Arkansas. I mean, look at all the flooding and North Carolina, you know, all these storms, hurricanes, like wildfires, you know, all these quote unquote natural disasters that are just popping up left and right.
If the technology was available in the 1960s to do that, and that we have HAARP and all of these different mechanisms that are able to manipulate the atmosphere if we put the right chemicals and metals and compounds into the atmosphere.
HAARP is scary as fuck. I have literally seen them up in Alaska where no one can go. It's all energy and frequency. That's the secret, right? Is they're hiding from us that everything is energy. And with this HAARP technology, I believe, and again, it goes back to the patent, they can use it to manipulate people's minds.
HAARP, which is stationed in Alaska, big system. You can't have HAARP systems all over the country. You also don't need them. HAARP is very powerful. It can affect a vast majority of the planet, but it makes it far easier to control unique areas if you have sort of essentially local antennas all over an area that you can work with. So the idea is NexRad is sort of an extension arm of HAARP. We can utilize these towers all over the country to emit very particular frequencies. HAARP, like I said, is in Alaska. So if it wants to emit a frequency that goes all the way to Florida, it's going to be crossing California and Tennessee and everything all the way over to Florida. But if you have certain towers that it can communicate with, then you have a much more customized weather modification system. And we have a lot of NexRad towers.
When you have these nanoparticulate metals, can they be controlled? Can they vibrate? Can they be steered? And that seems very plausible when you look at some of the very unpredictable, very out of the norm hurricanes that just recently occurred. If you just look up our government's own documents, a lot of people who still don't believe this, at some point are going to have to wake up and join us.
When you start to look at the materials in the research that we have barium and strontium and aluminum and nanoparticles, I think some of these technically incompetent politicians don't understand what a nanoparticle is. They can't grasp that. Something that's 1/77th the thickness of a human hair, I have a hard time with that, but it's a real thing. We can't visibly see that. For those who are knowingly selling these materials to these geoengineering outfits, they need to likewise suffer the consequences. And the bill that we offered, House Bill 1112, does that. It assigns the authority, prosecutorial authority, to a district attorney. We have a district attorney here in this judicial district, and to the attorney general for the state of Tennessee. And that when they leverage what the state already, through the executive department, the governor's office, has the authority under Title 58-2-116 to investigate these phenomena, then when you pull that information together, you start to develop a case. And it's easily trackable.
We can hold these mind controllers, these governments, we can hold their feet to the fire. Just like Catherine, Miss Catherine, with her brave soul, going up to these pilots after they just sprayed her, going up to them and asking, what the f*** are you doing? We see you. What are you doing?
I dropped my son off at a sleepover, and I came home and I heard the aircraft over my house. And I looked at my app and I realized, okay, he's already been out there for almost 3 hours. I'm going to miss him because he's about an hour away from me. He flies out of the Modesto airport. So I thought, well, okay, I missed him again because I had known that I wanted to go confront him at some point just to meet him and say, what are you doing? You're right over my house. And so then I went to bed and it was around 10 o'clock. I heard him come back and he was over my house again for the second time that night. And I shot up out of bed. And I called my friend and she didn't answer. And so I called up another friend and I said, let's go to the airport. And so he picked me up around 11 p.m. We drove about an hour to get to the airport and then, and had to wait for him to do his seating figure eights over my house. And then as he landed, then I had to find a way to get to him. And this airport was a different airport. So I didn't know what was going to happen because it was now roughly 1 o'clock in the morning. Everything's dark, everything's locked up. So I start walking along the windows and the businesses, and I'm just looking for, is there anyone here? Is there any light on anywhere? And I happened to see one of the line guys. The door was locked, and of course I said, hi! And the guy looked at me and he came and pushed the door open and I said, I'm here for, and I named the tail number, the registration number of the aircraft. I said, I'm here for the crew of da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, oh, okay. And I said, can I use your bathroom? And he said, yeah. So I went on in and used the bathroom, texted my friend. I said, I made it inside. And I filmed a little bit of the plane from the inside this dark building. So I was in the darkened waiting room. The pilots were probably confused. It's now, 1:30 in the morning or so. And my friend came over to the door as they were locked. He finally got over and started filming from the outside. And they went and got the crew. I didn't have a script. I didn't know what I was going to say. There were two men. They came in. They sounded like they were Canadian. Thank you.
Good. What can I do?
Good to see you. I'm here. You're Tim, right?
No.
Oh, no.
No. I don't know a Tim.
Jody?
No, don't know. Well, I know a Jody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jody Fisher?
No, yeah, I know Jody Fisher.
You do? Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then who are you?
I'm one of the other captains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I said, well, are you Jody? Because Jody Fisher is I believe it's the flight director now of Weather Modification International. I've tried multiple times to reach Jody Fisher and to say, what are you doing? What's in your flares? I wanted to know, are they using the titanium dioxide nanoparticles? And if so, then I know that they have violated the environmental impact report. Are you free now?
No, I gotta reflare.
Okay, so I have paperwork for you that I want to give to you. So hang tight, I'll go get it. But then we've been trying to reach Jody and you for a long time.
Okay.
And we are tired of you dumping heavy metals all over our county.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not the one to talk to about that.
No, but you are. But you're the one that's doing it. So I've been taking rain samples. I have over 20 samples. And every time you fly, we get high amounts of aluminum, barium, strontium, titanium, magnesium. So I want to know, are you aware of what you're doing? I know you think it's like to increase water supply for Turlock and Modesto, but it's not really happening.
Yeah, you can talk to them.
I've tried.
That,
I've called them and they're not calling me back. So we're now getting really involved. And now we're going to bring something legal against your company.
Okay, well, you can talk to them about that for sure.
I know, but I want you to know, though, like, we are real people underneath what you're doing. You spray right over our houses. We hear you. We know you. We see you. We're watching your planes and your patterns, okay?
Yeah.
It's twice today now. You did 2 flights. 2 3-hour flights.
It's public knowledge, yeah.
It's not really, though. That's the problem. So you have not properly notified our board of supervisors about this. Hi, are you the other pilot?
Yes.
Hi. What's your name?
Khaled.
Khaled?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, hi.
Hi.
It's not we have people at home base that you can talk to about that stuff.
But they've not called back. So now we're getting to the point where we're getting our supervisors involved. So the supervisors of our county needs to be notified. They've not been notified. You've been doing this for 30 years. I know it's a long time. You guys are like, it's cool, it's easy. We're talking about all of the metals and the flares that you're using. So aluminum and zinc propel the silver iodide. You're spraying right over us all the time. What you're spraying is not good for the environment and it's not good for the people because there's an early onset dementia, there's Alzheimer's, things are starting to happen to people's health. And I really do believe there's a linkage to what we're breathing in the environment every day. When you guys spray us in November through April, it's your yearly contract. I'm aware of that too. So I just wanted to meet the pilots and say, Where's Jody? I've called Jody. I've talked to, I think Leslie was the other one. Leslie Fisher?
Yeah,
Lisa?
probably his wife.
Okay,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, that's their responsibility. That's not our
I
responsibility.
understand, yeah. But the money that you're receiving to do this is coming from, is it taxpayers that are paying for this?
That's not my department.
I kept my cool, but he wanted to sort of blow me off. But at the very least, I thought, he can see I'm a real person. I'm here in the middle of the night, meeting him inside the building that the public doesn't have access to. I'm serious, man. I have a family. I have chickens. I have a garden that I'm trying to grow. And you've been doing this for decades. Are you aware of the cumulative impacts of the metals you're dumping over our heads? I want you to know it's upsetting for me. I want you to be aware we have copious amounts of aluminum, magnesium. There's been some barium, strontium, but titanium's weird. Is titanium also in your flares? Okay, that's unique for me. So I want you to know that there are health impacts and impacts to the soil and the plant life and all of those things. And when you do this, my whole community is watching. We don't know what to do.
Yeah, I understand your opinion.
It's not an opinion,
So
though.
I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. You can take your concerns.
Are you the chief pilot?
No, I'm not the chief pilot.
What is your name again?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
I'd like to know.
No, it doesn't, because you're going
matters.
to go try to smear that all over the place.
No, but I want to know. Like,
No,
are you chief pilot?
It's none of your business.
It is my business because you're over my head dumping shit over our families
We're not
and our
doing
houses.
anything illegal, so.
It's not illegal yet. But now we haven't had air district hearing boards for years now, and people have not been paying attention, but people are starting to pay attention because they do care about their health and the health of our food and the health of our population. I want you to know that you, whether you know it or not or want to admit it or not, are contributing to dumping heavy metals on our soils and in our air. We're breathing it, we're drinking it, we're eating it.
I'm not saying it doesn't matter.
Every time you go up there, we are watching, and it's heartbreaking and it's distressing, and I don't know how to get a hold of Jody Fisher. Okay. So I want you both to say, Jody, you got to address this.
We're not making it rain, period.
Okay, so what are you doing then?
We make it snow
Okay.
over top of the
But
mountain.
you've done this over us, though. So Groveland, Coulterville, Sonora, right? And then the air is moving a certain direction. I get it, but it's like landing on us under the guise of public health. It's bullshit. I'm sick of it. So I've come out here tonight when I'd rather be sleeping. And because I wanted to just find out, do the pilots know, have you been doing this for a while?
Yep.
So when you're up there, just know that someone's down there looking up going, what's going on?
Yeah, I know. I don't ever think that there's not people watching this.
Yeah. Okay. People do care.
Yeah.
We care deep.
I know that.
I regret that I did not get a picture of his face. And I also did not get his name. He refused to give me his name. But that's okay, because what I had was the audio of the interaction. And I, of course, like I've done in the past, I share my interactions. I share my observations, my experiences. I had no idea that it would receive so much attention. When I actually got home, it was about 4 a.m, and my adrenaline was pumping, and I shared the audio. I listened to the audio on the way home with my friend, and he was like, you were so calm. And I was like, I know. And he admitted it. And he's really saying it, because it's so hard to get people to believe it's really happening. You have to hear it from the horse's mouth. And I think that's why it was so impactful, is that people finally realized, oh, there are real people in these planes hitting the flare buttons and the ejectable flares. They have burn-in-place flares, ejectable flares. Poof! There's all the aluminum over this concentrated area.
It's going into our water supply. It's going into our nose. It's going into our mouth. It's settling on our skin. It's slowly ruining your brain. It's slowly ruining your body. And it's making me sick and killing me too. I've got cancer, and I think a lot of it is to blame on the chemical companies, and that might be a background factor. It's no good for any of us. It'll kill us. The thing that upsets me the most is the guys in the corporation, the CEOs and the corporate bosses. They're breathing the same stuff and haven't figured that out yet. And they say everything's fine. How can they do this to me and to us? And wow, you know, it's bad for everybody. And sometimes I wonder if the lawmakers and the politicians and the CEOs aren't poisoning themselves and leading themselves by the nose into destruction.
Look up, listen. This is not left or right. This is, we have a right to clean water and air. And the same people that used to be the environmental tree huggers that didn't want large companies improperly disposing drainage into waterways. Your own government's doing it, and you're demonizing the people that have seen it, uncovered it, and risked their lives talking about it.
My name is Justin Harvey, and I am a health freedom advocate from Orlando, Florida. As of late, been speaking a lot about fluoride, but if it's got to do with our health or our freedom, I'm usually involved. And this time we're in Texas talking about geoengineering. And while there are many state bills being proposed across the country, we have to step up locally. We can't just depend on the state and the feds to take care of this issue for us. You've got to get out there, educate your city council members, and encourage them to do the right thing and protect their local community. Don't depend on state and federal governments to get this done for you. That is not what's going to get it done. What's going to get it done is real people going into their local communities and raising awareness and making noise. That's what it's going to take, and that's what we're here to do tonight. I come here all the way today to bring awareness to an issue of weather modification, also known as geoengineering, which I'm sure some of you have heard of by now. This is something that affects all of us as it consists of the air we breathe. These programs consist of spraying tons of patented aerosol pollutants into our skies without public consent. This includes aluminum, barium, strontium, and more. And while there are plenty of people that say these programs have been going on for decades, and they do have some decent receipts, I don't even really think you need to take it there. You can simply point to these article headlines that I've brought here today. And they start with, "Is it time to consider dimming the sun? Harvard's Solar Geoengineering Research Program." Forbes article, "Bill Gates venture aims to spray dust into the atmosphere to block the sun." Fox News, the Biden admin was considering blocking the sun to prevent climate change. CBS News, controversial spraying method aims to curb global warming. And last but not least, a CIA director, former, said, "A personal program that has gained my attention is one of stratospheric aerosol injections," which is a fancy term for the chemtrail word. You can no longer call something a conspiracy theory, I don't believe, when Harvard, Bill Gates, the White House admin, former, and a CIA director are all calling for these programs to start. This demonstrates that there are people in power that have every intention to carry them out, and we should put preventative measures in place to make sure that they don't. And people say, well, Justin, this has never happened. In the 1955 in St. Louis, they sprayed chemicals over an impoverished St. Louis community just to see what the effects would be. Now, 5 years ago, this speech was laughed at and I was tossed out of here and it was a loony bin kind of talk, but we've currently got 30 states proposed bills to ban weather modification, including Texas. And the EPA's announced they're investigating it as well. This is no longer controversial. And I'm grateful the issue is mainstream, but we can't depend on the state and the federal government to take care of this for us, which is why I think we should all do our part locally to put measures in place. This is exactly why I would call on the city of Benbrook to basically pass a resolution outlawing this practice locally. While this may be out of your jurisdiction and federal airspace is higher, you can start the conversation, you can get attention on the issue, you can educate your public, and you can help report these instances to the EPA. Just because it could be out of your jurisdiction doesn't mean there aren't ways for us to fight back. You have a platform and you can use it to educate the public. If enough local communities and state governments shine a light on this issue, I'm confident that we can stop the practice, whoever's carrying it out. I encourage everyone to start testing your soil, looking at these things. Mike Adams is already looking at our soil samples in Florida. The experts say this stuff accumulates in our body over time, and I don't want to be breathing microscopic bits of aluminum, my family, who knows what else. And we all know what happens when metal is in a microwave. So I really hope they don't crank up those radiation towers that have been put on every street corner. These are valid and concerning questions. It should be a common sense issue to fight for clean air in your community. I truly hope that we can get something passed here locally to address this issue. Thank you so much for your time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And I'll be happy to send you the articles that I mentioned as well.
Thank you very much for your presentation and for raising awareness on such an important topic.
Thank you so much. This is your opportunity to go out and do this in your city, in your county, because I'm just one guy. I had no public speaking experience. I was terrified of it. But when you go out there and you get a little handle on it, you just prepare your 2 to 3 minutes, you go in there and educate them. And then guess what? They're like, oh man, 3 people came to the city council meeting talking about this. Maybe we should have a meeting about it. Oh wow, 2 cities nearby passed something. Oh wow, the state next door. It's just a domino effect. So once one person goes out and starts talking, like I did, about the fluoride issue, people will come with you, and you will build your small little army of people that can go in and get change made.
I think that we've hit a point of acceleration of awareness of this, that we have the inertia, that it's moving, and it's moving at a much faster rate than what it was some years ago.
There's so much information that is coming out right in front of your eyes, and it's desensitizing people. Because when it's openly admitted, 100% by a federal government and in the mainstream media, I think that's when people will start asking, well, is this safe? If you're paying attention, the UK just passed and admitted they're going to dim the sun. If you would have asked me in 2010 if it would be so openly discussed now, I would have never believed you or myself.
The number one weapon, true weapon, that the government has against the people is censorship. And we've seen this excessively for a long time. The reason why censorship is the greatest weapon is because unification is their greatest enemy. If we all have information that makes us angry about something, we're all going to do something about it.
If you think of the word government, govern means control, ment means mind. All government means is control the mind. Do we need a bunch of bureaucrats and politicians controlling our minds? Are we not capable of thinking for ourselves? Do we really even need a federal government, a federal mind control program that steals our money and sends it overseas? We needed government and representatives back before we had cell phones. When hey, Tanner, get on your horse, you represent us, ride out to Washington and tell them what we want. We needed government and representatives then. Now in the age of technology, we don't need fucking government. It's a corporation. And in my opinion, the corporation needs to be dissolved and all the power go to the states. And that way we have no more tyranny.
We need to prosecute those people that are doing it. I don't think we fully understand what has happened to us collectively in just allowing ourselves to breathe continually these chemicals, whether it's aluminum or silver iodide that we use in the cloud seeding. That has an impact on our bodies. And we regulate industry every day to make sure that we don't emit hazardous materials into the atmosphere. Yet we're turning a blind eye while people purposefully do that. There's a time to fight. Don't come after my rights. Don't come after my guns. Don't come after my free speech. There are things worth fighting for. And those people that are spraying our skies today and trying to usurp control over you and me and us, they need to be punished for it.
We're in a war. This is a war against me, you, our children, our grandchildren, and generations to come. This is war raged upon us. This is warfare. A revolution is where a group of men stand in one spot and say, enough is enough. You're not spraying us anymore. And the only reason why we haven't is because most people are docile and the other people aren't aware of it. Now, with this film, they're aware of it. So, do we stand in one spot and say enough is enough? And if they don't listen, we take it to the next step?
This is something I just feel we the people, regardless of politics, are going to have to sit down and say, this is happening. And it doesn't make you a crazy conspiracy theorist because you're acknowledging it.
Send letters to your local representatives. Send letters to the administration. Raise your voice, because as soon as everyone starts bringing it up, which is already happening, thankfully, it's either going to have to stop or they're going to have to address it head on. It's nice to see the potential of humanity rising up again. And I think that the warrior inside is not going to put up with it anymore. I think we're going to stop it.
I want the world to know its purpose and remember what they came here for.
Something in me tells me that we were born here in this time now to eradicate this evil. I believe that God created humans in this form that we're in right now, because God created everything, right? He created all these other entities because it all comes from the source. There's only one energy, and it's all energy. I believe that humanity has the divine spark that is the only thing that came from source that could eradicate all of this evil. And that's why they hate us so much. That's why they will poison us. Because if we were to wake up all at one time, which I believe we're going to get to that point because we're seeing it literally happen right now.
Open our eyes, ask questions, stay curious, look for the safety data sheets, really look into it. We all have to look out for each other. It really is, I feel, all of us against a powerful few. And if we understood and could own our power, because we have a lot of power, when you stand in your truth and you speak from the heart and you say, I do not consent, I didn't give you permission, I want you to stop. There's power in that.
I just want to thank everyone that's a part of exposing this, from the filmmakers to the other professionals, activists, or just subject matter experts that have lended their voice amongst a lot of hatred and bastardization. A lot of times when you present people with ideas, they call you crazy, but I know at the end of the day, they go home and they look it up. So I just want to thank everyone else that has come forward to talk about this, because we have a lot of problems in this country, but this is a world issue.
Please do something. Try. Be actively compassionate just like Jesus did. Please do that. Please. Okay, I've said all I need to say.
What if these people just keep doing this and introducing more toxins to just shorten our lifespan more? Because, again, if humanity woke up as a collective, right, which is the reason why we are doing this, if we all came together and we stopped believing in this reality they've created where we need their money and their electricity and their water, I mean, we can get all this stuff from the earth, right? But we believe in this reality they've created for us. If we all ascended and connected, it would all, like the Matrix, would literally crumble.
If we care about the future for our children and our own health and future generations, then we can no longer afford to be spending most of our time entertaining ourselves with frivolous baloney. You know, it's the bread and circuses of today. My hope is that people really start just looking around and asking questions. Question everything. Because, again, the lies have been told for a very long time. And there's more at play here.
We are not frightened. We are enlightened. We know what you're doing. The storm you made is brewing. Yeah, we will fight it. For we are united. But when we come together, we will clear the skies forever. Can't you see our day is finally come? We know what you're doing and what you've done. No more deception. You will learn your lesson. We will be victorious. Justice will be glorious. Can't you see our day has finally come? We know what you're doing and what you've done. We are not frightened. We are enlightened. Yeah, we know what you're doing. The storm you made is